What is going on, everybody? How are you? How's it going, Pedro? I'm going to change things up a little here. I was listening to Conan last night. I was very excited about listening to Conan. But I'm going to put something else on here. I added some songs to our playlist. Some new metal songs and some hardcore and some other crap. Good stuff. Not crap, but we're going to listen to a little Shadow of Intent at this point. If you've never heard this, or if you've never gone to see the drummer from Shadow Intent, I can't recall the guy's name. But man, this guy, you got to go right now. Search bar's right above me. I'll be here when you get back. Go check out Shadow of Intent drummer live. This dude has some of the best faces you'll ever see in your entire life. What are we doing today, guys? My name is Tyler. Welcome to the Amp Sim Show, episode 56. 56? Folks, that's like 100 and... That's well over 100 hours on here. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. What are we doing today, guys? We're checking out some stuff from Audio Assault. Thanks, man. I got lots of pairs of glasses. I often forget about this. It's an older prescription. So it's and they don't sit. My ears are a little. I put these little things on there to kind of even it out. Doesn't always work out. So here we are. So we're hanging out today. I'm gonna be with you guys a lot today. And I also bought some picks today. I haven't bought picks in a long time. I was about to do an order from V-Picks. It's been a long time. I want to talk about V-Picks for a second. They're not a channel sponsor, although I really should connect with them. I just want to point out. Okay. I want to show you guys some picks that I bought from V-Picks a long time ago, and I've used them a lot. I'm gonna use something different today than a V-Pick, actually. I bought some new picks. It's been a while since I bought new picks. But I want to show you guys these picks because, truthfully, these things are in just amazing condition. I have so many different picks in here, and why do I keep a lot of picks? I keep a lot of stuff around because I believe in never getting too attached to just one specific pick, because it cost me, that specific attitude cost me dearly in a studio session years ago, and ever since then I just sort of moved around a little bit from stuff to stuff. And when something feel like sometimes different picks are also better for different styles, so I keep a lot of stuff around. And I'm interested in new picks. I buy stuff all the time. I've also had some stuff given to me thanks so much to Chicken Picks, but I've purchased all the V-Picks I've ever bought, so I've never gotten anything from them for free. Now check this out. These things are old. I got these like a decade ago, guys. And I've been using this snake here a lot over the years, and this thing looks like it's brand new. The material that these things are made of also has like a really unique cut to it. It's hard to explain. This one has shows a tiny bit more wear because I've used it as a bass pick. But even still, 10 years old, this thing is just a monster. And then there's the big boy, but I can't seem to find the big boy. Here it is. Gotta check this thing out. The Super Psycho Shredder. This thing it's a trip, guys. If you ever really want a unique experience, you hold it kind of like this. It is huge, it is awkward at first, but for sweep picking, the way that they're beveled is just unbelievable. I can't sweep pick for shit, but if you can, this thing will be a weapon for you. But again, this thing is a decade old. Probably around a decade old, and look at it, it's immaculate. So the material, yeah, you spend a little bit more, and I wouldn't suggest. I only use these picks at home for the most part. So yeah. Anyways, what are we doing today? I'm using. Why did I go into the pick story? Well, I bought some Kirk Hammett picks at my local guitar shop today. I'm really making an effort to try and shop locally as much as possible on as many things as I can. No longer doing a string thing with Sit. I know I said the last stream, but it's going to be up there. I'm still going to show all the respect in the world. So I still have a lot of Sit strings here, and I'm still using a lot. So until our new channel sponsor is in place, which I'm working on right now with a couple of different smaller Canadian companies, Really want to go Canadian on this one as well as and support Canadian made Canadian based company that I am myself based in Canada. So just explaining what we're doing with the channel sponsor up here. Right now we've got 300 subs. In the new year, with all of our new shareable content that we're going to be creating, these subs are going to go well up in well north. We haven't really put a lot of time into it yet. How's it going, Eddie? Yeah, the logo's still there. We still have a lot of sit, and it's not like I want to cut them off. I'm like, there's not like it's like a heated argument. They simply got to the point where things got very expensive for them, and they were not able to offer us what they offered us in the past. When I worked out the cost of doing it, when I worked out the cost of even the half price cost that they kind of offered up, it really didn't offer. With the exchange rate, the horrible Canadian exchange rate right now, awful Canadian exchange rate, plus taxes and duties and shipping, was actually going to cost me less to go to my local guitar store a block away to get the strings. And so I didn't want to waste their time either. Somewhere in the world, there's also somebody that could fall into our slot and really use that half off strings. So, I mean, thank you so much to Sid. Anyways, so yeah, moving along, I was there today getting some strings. I found these picks. It's fun. So I want to see what we could do. We're using Audio Assault stuff today, and there's something that came out recently from Audio Assault that really piqued my interest a great deal. And that is the Glenn Drover pack. And I went and looked it up, but I can't remember off the top of my head the band that he's from. Apart from obviously Megadeth, I think with King Diamond and others, but there's his own band that he's got in Canada. He's a fellow Canadian. I've never met the man, but he and his brother also are in a kind of a well-known Canadian band, but the name always slips my mind every single time. Bo, what's going on? Yes, thank you, Bo. Yes, as far as picks go, you really got to work with what works for you. As far as strings go as well, you got to work with. I've got to just go with what's best for me, and also I get to try different brands, different gauges. Finding out there was a couple of sit sets that I was using that I wasn't fully. It was a little too small for what I was used to. I really like the D'Addario. It's not D'Addario, it's D'Addario, as far as I've researched. So I'm going to say that. That brand, the Teal Baritone Set 62 to 13, great set, and it's perfect for the B2B tuning that I play a lot of guitars in. Perfect. It doesn't sag on me. It's perfect. Whereas the sit set that I was using was 59 to 13, and I felt that the top two strings were just a little too much play for my playing style. Play meaning like there's a little bit of action moving, you guys know the floral effect. So anyways, we're gonna tune this up. I realized I just dropped it already. It's a very small pick, and I'm realizing now that this is going to be a shit show. I've stopped picks. That's the one reason I stopped using the Jazz 3, and the Kirk Hammett is just a Jazz 3 with a notch. I'm realizing the notch is kind of comfortable. And the guy at the local guitar store, he said he was going to watch the next stream he got his hands on because he was rather excited. We were talking about what we do here and everything else, and I'm not sure if he's even an Amp Sim guy, but if he's watching, hey, how's it going there, buddy? Anyways, today, the one reason that I got away from the Jazz 3s is it was a little too small. Sorry, guys. Making sure we're in tune to start this off is important. Obviously, this tuner is almost probably out of life. I'm feeling like, yeah. All right, let's see what here. Now, in the pedal section, I've got a bunch of stuff loaded up, although not all is going to be used today. Let's see. Okay, I see. This is the first amp, and so what I wanted to do first was use it with a different cabinet, something that I'm a little bit more familiar with. So, but I can't really do that in this case. I want to kind of go with what the options that they've been giving me here. I'm actually using all this. Sorry, I'm just listening to this song I just added. It's ridiculous. Anyways, so I'm not too familiar with this yet. We're going to go through with what this is all based in Amp Locker, by the way. This is the Glenn Drover pack that I'm kind of just going through. There's also some stuff from the Barry, the Charles Caswell Buried Alive pack. And the thing is, the Buried Alive amp or the Barry amp set is available on its own, and you can utilize it on its own. You can also use the Glenn Drover plugin on its own, as far as I was able to tell. I'm really interested in what this Spectro is going to do. It claims that this thing does a whole lot of stuff, but we'll see what kind of stuff it actually does. So yeah. Okay, so I'm going to just riff on this a little bit more. A little bit hot there. That's nice. So I'm just kind of that's the one cabinet here, and this is the other. How's it going, Thomas? Guys, Nils, how's it going? Wow, we got 7 people here today for the early stream. I was supposed to be on here a bunch earlier, and then we realized that, shit, you know what? the missus and I both kind of looked at each other and said, well, you know what? We should kind of stop being, like, we can't be just lazy pieces of shit all day. So we're just going to have to go out and do a few errands. I'm planning on being here for 2 streams today, if not 3. Yeah. First one here, I'm going to do about 90 minutes on the on Amp Locker and where it's coming. How it's come along rather. I was thinking about just using, and what I might do is just use these 2 packs on their own, rather than using them inside. I may want to just do that and just use them on their own, and then go to Amp Locker. But there's something in Amp Locker I really want to check out as well, is the new Berserk amp. So here's what I'm going to do. Maybe we'll just do those on their own and then come back and do the other stuff and see where things... We're going to check out the Bulldog and how that kind of fits into the mix here as well. We're going to be here at least 90 minutes, maybe even 2 hours plus for this one. The next one's going to be on the new Nunchuck plugin from Polychrome, as well as other Marshall plugins. We're going to talk a little bit more about Marshall plugins, but this plugin is really, really cool. Luca and Tom over at Polychrome DSP just put it out. Luca, of course, also of Audiority. And we're also going to throw together a stream. I'm hoping it's today. If it's not today, it's going to be tomorrow. I did a stream the other day on Boost plugins. Well, tonight's going to be on fuzz plugins, and we're going to do what's probably going to be a hazy and barely functional stream, maybe later tonight, where I'm just going to pull out a couple of different guitars that you don't often see here on the channel. I'm kind of excited for that. Also, the Canadian Postal Strike is over. Yay! Isn't that cool? So I'm going to be getting my Harley Benton baritone pretty soon, so I'll be able to get to work on that. Also, cool. Pickup talk real quick, guys. I want you all to go right now. Just for me. I want you guys to go right now and check out a pickup company called Aurora Tone. Just like Aurora DSP, this is Aurora Tone. It's a company based in Canada. They're not a channel sponsor at this point. I haven't even asked them anything about it. But I am about to order a pickup from this company. Probably a couple. And I want you guys to check these guys out. Canadian based. And for a boutique winder, guys, very, very reasonably priced. Very reasonably priced for like stuff that, you'd see like most boutique winders. It'd be about double the price. If not, maybe just under double the price. So check out Aurora Tone pickups. Check them out on social media. Check them out on just, the web in general. And let me know what you guys think. They got some cool finishes. Let me know which pickup. I want you guys to do me a favor. Why don't you guys go through what they have available and tell me which pickup would suit going into the Rumblebee. The guitar I used last stream, Ibanez RG, yellow. It has a non-Trembucker spaced Evolution in it right now, just holding the place for something else. I'm thinking it's going to be the Chimera with the battle-worn cover. You guys tell me what you think and read through maybe some of the descriptions and tell me what you think might be best suited for that particular guitar that's made to absolutely annihilate. And then I need to talk to the pickup builder, because then we're going to talk about what's going into my baritone at what point. So anyways, going back to it. So we're going to come back to this. I'm going to open the hook up for a second here, and then we're going to go to Drover. Going to open this, and we're just going to use this just as this. I want to show you guys just this pack for the moment. And yeah, okay. So this is basically just a small version of amp locker. It's really, really easy. It's set out nice. We're going to go in here, and yeah, it's the same setup. I know. It's the same thing, but let's just give these plugins their day for a quick second. And the one that I'm going to be honest, this is where it comes into those, do you like the artist or do you not like the artist? I got a friend named Phil that doesn't really like this player very much. He says his stuff sounds like ringtones on a phone. But there's no denying the man has, get out of here, cat hair. No denying the man has a lot of talent as well. So that we're going to get into as well. We're going to start with the Glen Drover pack and go through now. Start on just one side. It's real simple. I'm simple here. Okay, so that's the first amp. We got a simple cab set up here. We've got 3 different cabs, 4. Actually, several. Oh, they've included a bunch of different cabinets. Or was that included here? That's neat. Did they really include all this? Or is this just happened to somehow hack with the fact that I own something else? I own some of these products. Did they manage to come together somehow in the license? I don't know. I think these are all included, but the custom cabs are all these right here. So we started with this cool snake. I like the graphics too. They look terrific. And so I'm going to make sure that I've got my verb as well. I like that. Guys, this is just for me. If you're ever curious and see what's running, I've got my denoiser, which really helps with all the terrible noise in my environment here is awful. The electricity is dirty electricity in some spots, probably dirty power, and it's not good sometimes. So I've got it all hooked up to a power conditioner and everything, but still I have a lot of interference. Anyways, the denoiser helps. The M Convolution EZ is literally just something that provides a little bit of just moistness in my head. And mostly in my headphones, though, it's only on 6%, and it's mostly for me, because I just don't like the sound of a dry, completely bone dry amp sim in headphones. It bothers me. Okay, so we're gonna get going on this. And just keep going and just see what we end up with here. So far, so good. I don't really know what amps these are based off of. I realized that the Jazz 3 is the pick that I need to hit up if I want to do some more pinch harmonics. I get this. Never heard of anything like it before. Buried Alive. Yeah. You're right. He is very unique. You can't say he's not unique. And gosh, those guitars he plays, those are really cool. You can't say those guitars aren't fucking, at least cool. You might not play it yourself because you might think, damn, that is a lot of guitar, like the equivalent of a man driving a yellow Corvette down the middle of, the main street of the, you know what I mean? Not every man can drive a yellow Corvette and pull it off. But that dude pulls off the yellow Corvette. So yeah, if you're, that dude's a stud player too. Stud player. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to plug some stuff in here from the other mics. Nice mic selection available. Okay, we're just going to blend in a little bit of this other mic. Now, here's the part that I'm interested in. Okay, actually, they included a whole bunch of stuff. Neat. Okay, so they did include a basic screamer, which I like, because I don't know how I'm going to feel about this thing, this Mamma Jamma right here. This is, they claim this thing can do a lot of stuff. If you guys were watching the stream when somebody told me about this plugin, I went and looked it up, and this thing piqued my interest. Okay, so that's a... Okay, I see what it does. This is sort of almost, this adds kind of like almost like a fuzz. And like beefs it up a little bit. This kind of tightens it up. And this seems like the EQing of the whole thing. That does sound pretty cool. It does. It is subtle. You can make it as subtle. I think maybe one more control might have been good on here somewhere. Like just for like maybe a level. But I think that these pedals independently control some sort of level, various levels in this. I'm not exactly sure what this pedal does, but it's pretty cool. Bo, what do you think about this? What do you guys think in general? Eddie, did you guys end up trying this out? Okay, so I need to get a little bit more gain out of this. Let's try and see what we can do with this. A little bit, and I think we're going to get something good here. Yep. Okay, so now we're starting to cook. We are starting to cook. I like it. What do you guys think so far? I am going to just turn this guy off for a second. I'm just going to throw in, we're going to throw in just an average, your average ass screamer, just because I want to know what it sounds like with just your average ass screamer. And that's just generally how I set a screamer up. All right, that's a lot of level there. Okay. Anyhow, sounds pretty good so far. All right, so what do you guys think so far? I'm curious. The IR packs you have gives you 3D cabs for amp locker. Cool. And And I knew that, but they're showing up in the Glen Drover plugin, so I'm assuming that means that they've just included additional cabinets on top of the specified cabinets that were done for Glen Drover. I'll see if I can get the okay. By the way, I want to explain something. On the stream, we were talking about how I had tried to get in touch, but I had not heard back on the support issues I was having for Amp Locker, and I was a little bit discouraged. Well, as I was looking through for a coupon code through one of my junk mail filters, I happened to see a response from November 6th from Audio Assault's tech support. I was like, what the, why would it filter something that I sent? That's bananas to me why it would do that, but my apologies that they actually did get back to me in a decent amount of time. And thank you for that. And I will then take back any frustration I may have had about the situation, because I thought genuinely, like, okay, maybe they're just really busy. Maybe there's something going on. I wasn't really sure, but actually the tech support was POW. And thank you so much to Audio Assault for sending this over and sending everything that we were going to need. Bass locker as well. I didn't know that they had separated the bass gear out and done a bass locker and an amp locker as well. I think they are now different things. I mean, it's pretty cool that they've done that, I guess. I don't know. It depends if you're in need of the bass gear or not. I'm going to use the bass gear in a completely different episode. Maybe today. Not today. Okay, let's see what else we can get for the amps here. This song it always makes me laugh. I don't know why. A little bit out of tune. Sorry, guys. Nobody wants to hear attitude. And I'd like to find a way. I'd like to find a way to get some parts and change up some tuners on some of the guitars in the new year that I've got. Tuners, really, if you shop sales, you should be able to get decent sets, and be able to almost customize for pretty good prices. So I think in the new year, I'm going to be looking to maybe do something like that to a few of the different guitars like this one, where I'm never really sure about those tuners. Huh, okay. That sounds pretty good to my ears. I don't know about you guys. Now, I mean, the difference in quality between something like an Audio Assault and like a Neural DSP isn't going to be necessarily even noticeable to many users, to be honest. But it really depends on how much of a tone aficionado you are. There are going to be some differences for sure, but that's going to happen with anything. Like anything, there are going to be different things and different convenience factors, and there are different amps inside Amp Locker where you can just tell that they've gone the extra mile, and then some where you can definitely tell that it's more of a condensed, almost like, capture profile feel. But it still sounds really good. Like all the reamp amps, I've always been really impressed with that plugin. The original reamp, when they eventually renamed, I think it was Grind Machine, was renamed reamp. I I remember that first variation. There was a few betas, and man, it was a really good plugin. It still is. The reamp stuff that made its way into Amp Locker, all really great stuff. The Glenn Drover pack here, pretty cool so far. I like it. It's flexible. They've included a lot of stuff. It is not expensive. It is very affordable plugin as well, which is pretty badass, if you ask me. But the main all right, so that was the Glenn Drover pack and the Glenn Drover plugin that you can use. If you buy it, it's different. It's also separate from the subscription. So the subscription does not cover the signature stuff, but it's really affordable. It's really affordable. Everything Audio Solid is very affordable, and they definitely operate for people on more of a budget. And it's really cool that a company that operates at such a low price point as it is able to even offer signature stuff, because guys, girls, folks, people in general, players, guitar players, musicians, the world of signature plugins, there's a split there. Royalties have to go, it has to get split two ways. So you have to find an artist, both an artist and a company willing to sacrifice a little on both sides to have something really cool come out. So that being what it is, here we have the second, actually this was the first, I think, signature offering. Then came the Glenn Drover stuff. I tested this stuff out a little bit last night, and it sounds pretty good. The graphics are neat. The graphics are neat. There's nothing really bad I can say about this plugin so far. I like it a bit more than I like the Glenn Drover plugin, just off the top. But though I've had more time, I've got a Scream Berry and a Boost Berry. I'm not going to use both, but I'm going to check both out during this stream here and see where we end up. That's basically just a nice tube screamer. Now, what is the Boosty McBoost here? Is this like a TC boost type thing with just the level kind of maxed and ripped off and just offering two settings instead of one? Maybe? A little more subtle. I like it. I like both these boosts. And we're going to use the... we're going to make sure that we get some time in with both amps. We got the blue amp, red berry amp, green berry amp. I'm assuming that the red berry is going to be the angry one. Red berry. Is it the angry one? Cool. That sounds pretty neat. Again, this stuff, I think they're having a sale right now. They always seem to be having a sale. There's always a sale on something, and I like that. You don't have to put everything on sale all the time, but having something on sale at all times is great. That's a nice idea. Yeah, Bulldog does rip. I like it. I tried it in Amp Locker, and I think I just still prefer it on its own. I'm having a good time here today, just chilling out on a Saturday with the missus. We went out and did a tiny bit of shopping, got some McDonald's, ate some breakfast, chilled out, and we're just doing our thing today. I cannot promise all kinds of streams today, but this is the day's design. Also, we do talk about video games here from time to time, and I discovered an older game that I guess I originally tried and then didn't enjoy initially, or I'm not really sure what happened, but was Rage 2. Rage 2 is pretty fun, and I got it the whole deluxe edition for like $14 or $12 or something like that. And so yeah, that was pretty cool. I like it. I like that game. That's been taking some time. I need some relaxation time too. I just need some time to play games sometimes. We all do if you're a gamer, right? Oh, calm down. Again, we've also had some strange days here, so my guitars are really fucking angry at me. The other day, if you guys recall, we did a stream where it was minus 35 outside. And then, hey, it's minus 3, I think, minus 3. So that's a temperature difference of 32 degrees. And so if you guys can just put that together with wood, and the wood reacts 100%, really reacts to those temperature differences. So doing that really quickly, I'm even noticing that a bunch of the guitars need neck adjustments from even just 2 weeks ago. So yeah, that's the kind of situation, and that of course causes tuning issues. So tonne guitar. Okay, that is your opinion. Let's see. If I was to take the IR section right out, take the IR section out and use my own, and I use the 414, what do we get? What happens here? Let's see. I need to bring the volume up, but that does happen from time to time. Quite a big drop there, though. I dislike that when there's such a huge drop. I want to try instead loading it inside the loader. Let's try to load it inside the loader instead. I think you can load your own thing in here. Default. I always thought you could load your own IRs inside. I gotta be just missing it. Am I missing it? I must be missing it. Ah, right in front of my face. Wouldn't you know it? Okay, let's try that. Oh, wait. Oh, see, so they've built in some... Okay, they built in some stuff. That's pretty cool. So they also offer you in-house as well. So let's just toss this in. And I know that to be the greatest IR I've ever used. I'll just say my favorite. That does sound pretty good. However, we haven't really tried all the cabs. We haven't given this a fair shake at all. So... But, I mean, Brian at CCow does a pretty decent job. So let's trust in the machine here. And go back to the red. And I'm just going to go over. And we're just going to use one mic here. We're going to try out the 414 over here. I'm going to back this up. I'm going to move it over. That sounds plenty great. That is the same microphone that I was just using in that particular IR. So I can see if I can sort of kind of recreate the IR itself. It's also an angle cabinet. So that's a completely, I'm not even really sure what they used here. I can't even begin to, I'm not really sure. There's probably a description somewhere that says, but. That sounds pretty good to me. To me, anyways. I mean, on my end, that sounds pretty darn good. There's nothing I can say against that. That tone is pretty good. Great. Actually, I would definitely use this to record something. Yeah, these picks are definitely key for pinch harmonics, but I can't do rakes for shit. No, I can't do rakes at all. There's a give and a take for everything. God damn it. Yeah. I know. The Red Dead was pretty great. Hold on. I gotta go back here. And behind in the moment with gaming. Yeah, it's weird. I'm such a fan, such a fucking fan of Westerns, man. I am, you can ask the missus because she's not always fully on board with the whole Western theme that I like to try to inject around the house once in a while. It's like, it's usually got to be a bit of a hard sell on watching a Western with the missus. Like there's the odd one where down. Most of the time we've got a nice crossover and movie enjoyment, but for Westerns it takes a bit. But for me, I love Western. So it was really interesting that with the game itself, I found the game to be, I don't know. There's something about the game that just felt super, super slow for me. And I couldn't move in the game the way that as quickly as I wanted to. And I don't know what that means other than whatever. Man, I'm going to give away a bunch of picks, I think, at some point. I can actually get to that at some point because that's too small a pick for me. I'm going to go to the snag. You know what I'm going to give one to? There's this kid at my school that I work at, and he just got into playing guitar, and his dad and his mom clearly have rad taste in music because they're just injecting great bands into the kid's head. Like, you know, he's like talking, and his parents are taking him to rad concerts too. Like his dad took him to Metallica, and his parents are taking him to like Slipknot in the summertime and all this stuff. Oh my God, kid. Yeah. So I was with the 100% A-OK of his folks. I actually shared a nice list of bands with him to check out, and he's learning how to play guitar now at this point. And one of his favorite bands in the universe is Metallica, so I think maybe the gift of a couple Kirk Hammett guitar picks that I will not use ever. There's like 6 of them in there. There's at least 2 of those picks that go to that kid. And I think that would be really awesome. I think he'll get a good kick out of that. So I think I'm going to do that with those picks. Bring him to work and hook him up. Because I'm not really, I like the feeling of it, but it needs to be bigger. I love the Jazz 3s, but they're just too small. Too small. I need like a full size. Got 12 folks in here. Yeah. How's it going, everybody? I appreciate you all for being here. My name is Tyler. Welcome to the AmpSim universe. This is our channel, my team, our team, the team, and I. We are a bunch of AmpSim enthusiasts that's kind of work in and out of the industry, and we have a lot of fun doing it. Currently, we are helping Wavemind with a beta project, a plugin that is just about to come out, and we're just beta testing the plugin right now. And man, this is gonna be so fucking awesome. I cannot wait to show it to you guys. I cannot wait for this thing to come out so I can show you guys. It's such a fun plugin. And it's got some truthfully fantastic tones in it. Speaking of decent tones in this case, I would say this is getting close. This is getting close to fantastic. I like that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. No, I can't do it that fast anymore. You know what? Actually, you know what? I was just like, did we just leak something? But no, actually, it's out there on social media. I'm using the Berry amp right now. Check out the berries. Yeah, this is the red berry. The green berry. I'm just gonna have to go ahead and assume this is cleaner. Oh, that's wonderful. This is a bit different. Hold on. All right, let's see what that sounds like with the correct cabinet selection. Cab green. Let's head over here for a sec. Nice. It's pretty cool. Why does the Sam seem louder than the others, though? Why? Why does it seem louder? Isn't that the riff? What's a mate? This thing sounds interesting. I'm gonna scoop it. We're gonna be nice and easy here. kind of liked it with the screamer, though. Green, no. Green, no? Is there such a thing as a green berry? I would have liked to see a purple berry, maybe. There's a blueberry. There's a red berry. I would have liked to seen a purple berry instead of green. Green berries make me think of, I don't know. Plus, it just doesn't match the vibe. Look, there's purples everywhere in these petals. That's my only complaint. It's a tiny one. I just don't like the green berry. It makes me uncomfortable. Is it moldy? Do I need to take it out of the fridge? But fuck, it sounds good, boys. Woo, this thing sounds neat. Is there a compressor? Did you give me a compressor? I would like a compressor, sir. Ah, decomp. Pardon me. This sounds really good, guys. This one is neat. Yeah, that one's maybe the strongest amp in the suite so far, to be completely honest with you. I've not used this. I put in like 2 seconds with it last night, just with like a couple of DIs to make sure everything was like working good. I really like to make sure of that before I come into a stream, because like if not, ugh. What's the width berry? Oh, this is gonna be one of those like this is a doubler. It's a doubler. Oh, I see. It's a panner as well. Why would they call a panner level though? Or am I just using it? That's all the way left. There must be something. I must be doing something wrong. So that's with. Maybe it's just that I don't understand that effect. Maybe it's it's guaranteed to be operator error though. I can promise you that. Ah! I like the inclusion of this, but I was not ready for that. Whoa! I played the bad notes there. That's not the effect's fault that I'm a poor guitar player. Neat. Okay, that's cool. I like that. I like that they've included the finish on this is something on another level though. That is a very unique choice. Like the pre-pedals look so fucking awesome. Like these look terrific. Like look at this one, looks amazing. The cabinets look fantastic. He's really, really cool. I like the graphics on it. Looks really, really cool. But then we get to the post effects, and I don't know what happened there. I'm not shitting on it by any means, because it doesn't really matter what it looks like. It's a fucking post effect. I don't even use post effects most of the time because I just like to put them in myself, because I like to put the EQ in there. But they give you everything you need here. For the post section, they give you all kinds of EQs. They give you post comp, all kinds, verbs, chorus, delay. And as mentioned, they also give you Gateberry, Boostberry, Screamberry, Harmoberry? Harmoberry. I'm not going to buy that flavor of ice cream. Harmoberry. No thanks. But I'll buy a Screamberry ice cream. That's gotta already exist for sure. Yeah, you're probably correct. It's guaranteed just my own fault. I'm not really that concerned about it right now, to be honest with you. I'm sure that it works just fine because it's in a release and it's out and everything is all good. I'm not too worried about it. So yeah, so far so good. I would like a little bit of delay here if I could get it. Okay. No, I don't. No. Hold on. That sounded better. A few more feedback, a few more repeats there. It's very nice. So yeah, this thing is not expensive at all. Neither is the Glen Drover pack. I'm going to give the Drover pack another go at some point. But I'm very much feeling this amp right here. I liked the red berry. I liked the green berry. I liked the blueberry as well. The screamer and the boost sound good. The cabinets all seem to be, they do exactly what you need them to do. I need obviously more time to be able to give it like, you know, a full review, and I'm definitely going to try to do some content with it over the holidays if I can. But yeah, thanks so much to Audio Assault for this one because it is definitely cool. Now, I am going to fire up Amp Locker again. Now, I'm going to fire up some different cabinets here. If you're familiar with this plugin, with Amp Locker, do tell, what is the greatest cabinet in here? I'm curious. I'm going to try to do a couple of different cabs here, but yeah, maybe I'll just try the caliper as well here and go with a dual mic scenario. 414. Okay. All right, I'm gonna back that off, and that looks to be pretty good. Now for an amp. You mentioned it was at the caliper, the Flashman pedal. And guys, I'm just giving this a really loose go over today. Oh, the Berserk is what I wanted to check out. Have you guys checked this out yet? What's the deal with the Berserk? That sounds really good so far. Got a bunch of stuff loaded up here. I'm going to try this screamer first. I don't even really need to make it angry with a plug-in or with a screamer just yet. Lots of mids. That sounds crisp. It sounds really good, and it feels nice as well. There's definitely something that there's definitely a lot of something happening there. Yeah. That's your favorite of the new amps? Nice. I'm excited. Hell yeah. This is definitely one of the ones that came up when I was like, what's you got going on here? Oh, that's a great riff. Man, what a great riff right here. We're gonna do it. Rest in peace, LG. As the singer of this band has passed on, and the band ceased to exist, unfortunately. Firespawn, great band. They still have merch around. Help support was what was of that band. Check out Firespawn. I know nothing about this amp whatsoever. It's got a big creepy hand on it. I like that. I like this UI a lot. I like the way it looks. I like the hand on it and the little skull up top. It's pretty sweet. Dagger in there. I like it. This sounds neat too. It's fun. Yeah, buddy. Man, I'm having a great day today so far. It's going to be a nice weekend. My break is coming up pretty soon from work, and pretty excited about that. I'm going to get to trying my very best to kind of try to get a nice bunch of work done over the break here. And so be it. Yeah. I like the texture of it. It looks neat. It looks like it actually looks like a cake. It does. It legitimately looks like the texture of like fondant where you like, it's like on that show, is it cake? And you're like, I don't know, man, is it fucking cake? Can I cut into the amp? You know, like, no mention of what it is. Yeah, it does almost have a triple X kind of vibe. Well said. It could also be like, one of the best guitar sounds I actually ever heard was a triple X through an oversized recto cab. So that it looks kind of what we're set up with right here. It's indeed a triple X, which who knows? What else we got? Guys, we got a lot in this box. Now here's the redone Bulldog. Of course, I have to tune again, because why wouldn't I have to tune again? All right, guys, I'm hoping to get a bunch of streaming done today. We'll see how much we get done. Just got that feeling like I really wanted to do a bunch this weekend to kind of get warmed up. I'm not sure necessarily how much we're going to get done today. Because I'm also trying to record some, we're doing some beta demos, if you will. And I've got to send some stuff over to the team here. So we're trying to figure out a way to make this a little bit pre-recorded stuff in the new year. And that'll start dropping January 1st. You'll be able to see at least the first few will drop then. And those will be occasionally done when I have the time. I have a list right here of plugins that are about to get that treatment or have already received this said treatment is a list right here. So I aim to have this many done and up probably within the month of January. We're trying to, definitely trying to start something different here. These will all get shares as well, so we're hoping that there's going to be a big wave of subs because of said shares. That sounds lovely. So far, so good. Valhalla. Oops, wrong channel. Sounds good. Sounds really good. And so far, this is the only company that's ever really taken a good swing at the VHT slash Fryette Pitbull. And I really appreciate it. They know that, though. They know that I really appreciate it, because I've said it a bunch of different times to the guys over at Audio Assault that I really, really, really appreciated them taking a really good run at this amp. Will somebody do it better? Who knows? Who knows if anybody will ever even attempt it? But I was really glad that they didn't make a half-ass attempt at it. They went all the way. They did it the fucking right way. If you're doing an amp for the very first company to do that amp, for God's sakes out there, if you're a developer and you're looking to take a swing at an amp for your, and you're thinking, well, for my first plugin, or for this plugin rather, we're going to do this amp, and we're, you know, and no one's ever done it before, and we're just going to do it like, you know, we're going to omit a bunch of controls and just do a half-ass version of it. Nah, don't do that. If you're the one that's doing, that's taking, you know, that's taking that journey and doing an amp or a piece of gear for the very first time, gosh dang, take a big fucking hack at that. Take several big hacks at that, like these guys did right here. The Bulldog is, the Bulldog Super Elite is fucking great. It sounds a lot like the real deal. Is it 1-to-1? Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. That's up for you to decide. I'm not gonna say necessarily it's 1-for-1, but it is real close. Why am I playing that song? Because The Offspring is a band that was classically known to be using the Pitbull, and of course Helmet and a bunch of other bands. But it's long been an amp that has been not just that. I mean, there are some amps out there that you see on a stage less, and you see on the wall, on the amp walls of producers, a lot more. There are certain amps out there that you just don't see on a stage as much as you see it part of those ridiculously jealousy and envy inspiring walls in like you see in any studio, any real big studio. They've got like the utility shelves just packed full of amps, or in some studios they've got them built into those nice cabinets in the wall. Oh my gosh. And where you see the Fryette / VHT Pitbull show up a lot is in those. And you know an amp has got quality when you see it in a producer wall, and you see it in a lot of producer walls. The VHT Pitbull and the sleeper amp, in my personal opinion, the sleeper amp in the entire collection of VHT stuff / the Deliverance. That amp is actually, in my opinion, the company's strongest amp. But you'd never know it, because it's just, you'd almost never hear about that amp. But it is it's a gooder. A real gooder, guys. That is another amp that I would just... Guys, Audio Assault, you've taken a swing at this. I'm going to challenge Audio Assault right now. Guys, you guys own the market on VHT Fryette right now. Why not do the Deliverance as well? Come on, let's see a Deliverance as well. You guys knocked it out of the park with the Pitbull. Let's see the Deliverance find its way into Amp Locker. That would give you guys even more of a monopoly on that VHT market. And gosh, both amps are really nice. This is a really nice, really great job that they've done on this, though. Wow, it sounds good. Really good. See, I just ruined it by gain up too much there. Oh, that was some bad notes and all the bad things that ever just happened there. Let's bring the power amp volume back. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Here's what I can tell you. Tell you part of your dream come true. Sorry, part of your dream there, Kyle Hunter. Part of your dream there will come true in the new year. Or not, I'm not saying it's your dream because you mentioned that amp. I'm just saying there's a possibility that part of that dream might come true in the new year. And I've been given the A-OK from said developer doing said plugin that we are going to be the first one to be able to show it to you. So you're going to see it here and hear it here first. And you're going to hear it. You'll see it pop up right upon release, which will be sometime in January. But between now and then, there's some work left to do. Yes, he sure did. Okay, now you step into my office. Kyle, you just won points. I'm not sure that you knew that I've been a huge skate punk guy since I was literally involved in the original skate punk movement. I'm that old that I was around in the early to mid 90s playing in bands and touring in bands and playing a lot of local shows and having a lot of fun. And the end of that song is so annoying. I just want to punch whoever's doing it. Anyways, and you definitely, Fletcher was one of the original, like my original guitar heroes. The guy's incredible, but he's definitely got a metal tone. He's used over the years a bunch of different rigs, and I've seen Pennywise a number of times, and every time he's got a rig staged left and a rig staged right. And he's got it running, obviously it's different in stereo to kind of simulate the on-stage power of two guitar players. And yeah, one time I saw him, there was like a Mark series on one side and a Pitbull on the other. And then the other time I saw him, there was a rectifier involved. And at one point I saw him and there was like a 5150 involved. And the guy's just like, and he's an amp guy. He just likes to try things. And there could be rented gear scenarios that he's dealing with as well. I've heard for a lot of players that if nothing else is available, just give me a 5150 and I'll make it work. So that could have been a scenario where I saw him using a 5150. But yeah, as far as I know, I actually don't know what he's using currently. Nice. We are gonna be firm friends, my friend. Skate punk is in my blood. I'm 46, and man, like I said, I also lived in Montreal for about a year and a half during the heat of all that, and that was like the epicenter for skate punk in Canada and shows. And you could literally, it was like every night of the week, it seemed like it was a banger show. I saw so many bands while living there, and it was just and in my own neck of the woods as well. And so yeah, been a good time. All right, guys, I'm going to take a brief break. And shit, I realize that we are pinching for time on the nunchuck. We may end up getting to the nunchuck tomorrow, and then later tonight will be the fuzz stream. So if you guys are interested and you're in the ballpark later on this evening, probably in the 8 o'clock ballpark, somewhere in that area. If you guys are in the neighborhood and you want to drop in for some fuzzy stuff, please do. But for the most part, there's going to be another good portion to this to this stream. So hang out with me. I'm going to take a quick break for about 2 minutes here. I'll be back and we will get to more of Audio Assault Amp Locker and some of the new, and I honestly haven't tried it in months, and I was impressed with it then, and I'm more impressed with it now. And I want to say before the break here, I know there are some people out there that were less than impressed because they tried it too early. I'm sorry, guys, but you cannot, nobody, and I mean nobody, can hold a grudge against a product or developer if you're trying a fucking beta. It's a beta. You're trying a plugin that is not complete. You are part of the testing process. That is, you cannot hold an opinion against a plugin that you tried in the beta stage. I saw one guy that was talking about this plugin and talked about like he was testing the beta or some sort of thing early on, and he didn't like this or that. But then he ended up going back. Of course, he was just impressed as many of us were. So when it comes to a new platform, honestly, I do like to give it a little time to get things settled, and I like to test the finished version if I can, but I also love being part of the beta process. But I would never, ever, ever hold a bug or something I didn't like about the beta process against the developer. That's just part of the beta process. Remember, you're not just getting a plugin for the sake of creating content early. You are getting a plugin that is not necessarily 100% in release condition, or in release. It's not a release candidate yet, and you're helping to debug and get things really, really good. So just remember to be part of that process. Just be part of that process, right? If you're going to be testing betas out there are a lot of opportunities to test betas. If you're trustworthy and if developers, if you build some trust with a developer, you can usually get in on the betas, or sometimes there are more, Audio Assault does, like, I think a lot more open betas. So in that case, get into the Audio Assault user group, and if they go like an open beta, you can be part of that as well. But be part of it. Let them know that, help with experience. Help them make the plugin as awesome as possible. Don't just look at it as a chance to be like, I'm first. Okay, guys? Trust me, developers are like you a lot more if you're just help out and you're part of the process. Guys, give me 2 or 3 minutes. I'll be back for more Audio Assault. And then later on, probably some fuzz. Cheers, everybody. What is going on, everybody? Oh, gosh. So being that I'm super familiar with this, we're going to move past it as well. I think this is new. Does anybody know, like, all the new amps in here? Because there are a few, right? There's a bunch of new amps. I'm not really sure which one. Which ones are all new. The Slasher's not new. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to be here for another little bit. We're going to chill out, hang out. We're going to just talk audio assault. We're going to talk about plugins in general. Talk about what you're excited about. Here's another thing I always like to ask you guys. Wow, we lost a bunch of people there. Polychrome DSP. Yeah, we're not going to do that. The nunchuck's probably going to be tomorrow. Yeah. Tomorrow, probably I'm not really sure exactly what time. Yeah, I might even do it in the morning again, because that seemed to go over pretty well. So maybe I'll do it in the morning if we don't go disc golfing. But I'm definitely going to try to get on for a stream and do the nunchuck tomorrow. And Luca would like to join us. So I'm going to try to make it for a time that Luca can join us. He is going to be a dad shortly. So pre-congratulations to Luca. If you do speak to him, make sure you give him a heads up and a hello. Oh, the Dymos. Is this this one's new too. Okay, I want to definitely. Okay, here we go. Now I'm excited. Let's see what we got here. All right, that's cool. Hold on. It's a great song. This part right here, dude. Man, it's really great, really, really fun listening to an album where you factually understand and history has told you that album was, in fact, that band's prime. You never really know that you're listening to an album in a band's prime until like maybe 10 to 15 years later, really. 5 years later at least 5 years later. 2 albums is usually where it takes to prove that the band has come out of their prime. You know, because usually there's the prime, and then there's the one that's just close to the prime that they capitalize on the popularity of that one that's really close to the quality and dang close, and then it kind of goes down and down, and then so for Demu, for me, that Puritanical album was just, that's their prime. You're listening to a band that was at their best. I love that. That makes me happy. All right, we're just checking out this plugin, Dymos. Oh, this thing's gonna get dirty. This is gonna get dirty. I've got no screamer on right now. That's loud. I don't like talking over the music. It's still even too loud. That's better. I feel like I'm yelling over the music today. But then again, if I don't have it at least a reasonable volume, you guys can't hear it. And it might as well not be on at all. The feel of this one, this amp is great. Let's see what else we can do with it here. Oh, that's really good. Bananas, bananas. I haven't really been doing a whole lot with the cab section. I wanted to just kind of get something good and leave it there so I could test the amps instead for now. Sounds pretty darn good to me. I was wanting to play along with some Limp Bizkit the other day. Yeah, fucking awesome. So what do you guys think on this? Do tell. I thought that was going to be a clean tone or something. Nope, not a clean tone for you. This is just straight kicking your ass. Holy cow. Color me surprised. Kel surprised. That is pretty cool. Super, super cool. I don't know anything about a lot of these other cabinets. I see the major 9 and the this and the that and the... yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what a lot of these cabinets are. I have to look at them closer. What's the SCC medal? Oh, that looks like something to do with, isn't that the Spectre Sound logo? Yeah. That's a nice, this berry cab, the red cab, it sounds good. Whatever it is. Now you sold them. It's the only singer in my universe that can get away with yarling, and it sounds, I don't care. A lot of singers, man, the yarling, oh, just, if you don't know what yarling is, man, you know what it is. You know exactly what a yarling is. So the hill of the town, the man have a yarling. That absolute nonsense. The only singer that could ever get away with it was Lane Staley, because he only did it. It wasn't really yarling. He did that kind of stuff. It was more like a yeah, like a long. But then like the dude from Creed just overdid it and put it on steroids, and then all the other singers started to just way overdo it. Lane Staley was the only guy that could ever really just like do it, and I was on board. No matter what that guy did, I was on board. They do still have standalone. The Barry amp is I believe has a standalone Glenn Drover pack standalone. I'm not sure what else. You'd have to go consult the website to be sure. I know a lot of stuff has kind of moved over to Amp Locker, and in my personal opinion, guys, there was stuff that I'm gonna be straight up and I'm as honest that you guys understand that I'm honest. And I've said it before, but like early Audio Assault stuff, when put up against the top of the industry, just it was not as good. And there were some of their products that I just simply did not like. However, I think the last time we went on to we did Amp Locker, I noted that all of the plugins that I used to believe were like some of the weaker links in their selection, all of a sudden were way better. Way better. The Shabalba was better. The Dominator was better. The Bulldozer was better. Everything was fucking better. Whatever they did, they brought it in here and they made all of those products 100% better. And there was one that I liked less than any that they had done, and that was the and I'll use it right now just to prove that it has gotten better. This was once upon a time, in only my opinion, but this was just my opinion. At one point in time, this was the worst amp sims I had ever heard. I'm just saying that. Was. WAS. Capitals. Was. Because then, all of a sudden, I'm like, the Emperor made the cut? And then, all of a sudden... it's all of a sudden way better. Way better. Now it is not even close to being one of the worst amp sims I've ever heard in my life. Now, in fact, every single one of the Audio Assault products that I once believed kind of started getting left behind by the rest of the market, all of a sudden they throw them in Amp Locker, they make improvements to all of them, and they, instead of just burying these products and saying, well, we've got this new stuff, this other stuff's just going to get discontinued, fuck off, whatever, or keeping it for sale when they knew that it was sort of starting to get left behind the pack, and they knew. All of a sudden it comes to Amp Locker, and now it's actually legitimately part of a selection that they can boast this many or X amount of products, X amount of components. There's nothing weak in here. There's nothing that I would say, ooh, oh, god damn, that's terrible. There's nothing in here that is horrible at all. There's nothing in here that's just passable. It's all good or better. It's all, and when I say good, you guys know what good means. Good means 6.5 or 7 out of 10, and that is good, and that is not a bad score. There's other stuff in here, though, however, that's 100% a 10 out of 10. And so, believe me, and when I say it, that a $5 subscription, try it for 3 months. Try it for 3 months, see what you think. That's what I say about all subscriptions. Make sure you're doing it in a month where you're actively doing things, though. Actively rehearsing, actively writing for demoing, actively recording stuff. Maybe you're doing that all the time. Try it for 3 months. That's all I can say is that is, if I wish I could put that in quotes, is because I've never seen such a dramatic turnover from something going from something I didn't really necessarily like very much to where I believe at some point the developer was kind of like maybe even mad at me for it. There are times like that where if you're honest about somebody's hard work, even if you're respectful, they still take it as a not good way. I'm not saying they did that. I'm saying in this particular case, this was a product I did not really like. And then lo and behold, look what happened. They put it in some actual elbow grease, and they put in the hard work, and they made some stuff that really sounds awesome that people can use. And it's not just affordable and passable, it's affordable and really good. So Like, I can't believe that I'm using the same thing right now. It's bananas to me that I'm using this is the same amp. It's so crazy that that's the Emperor. It's crazy that that's the Emperor. I'm just realizing now that the band we're listening to in the background is also tuned in C here, I think. It's crazy to me that that's the same amp. I can't believe it. I really can't. It's like me seeing somebody you knew in high school that you knew to be just like the average Joe, and then they come up to you and all of a sudden they're just like shredded or multi-successful, someone you just never expected to just do something at something that they ended up doing. And it's crazy that this is the same thing. It's bananas. Cheers to Audio Assault for putting in the work and getting something really rad for the hard work, because this sounds good. And it's not even one of the stronger. This is not even one of the stronger amps in the suite. So you get, if you're not familiar, you get amps like this, which is fantastic. And this we're talking is like a 10-year-old plugin. The Emperor, Bulldozer, and Dominator are old plugins. Those have been around for a long fucking time. I'm not sure if it's actually been 10 years, but I think it's been damn well near close. You could probably. First I heard of it was the Jared Dines video, so whenever that came out is when I started noticing Audio Assault, was when the Jared Dines video came out and they had the Dominator. So you also get access to the reamp amps, which is condensed and smaller, more condensed, and from what I understand, a different style of modeling, but don't quote me on that. That is pure speculation into something I think I had discussed in the past. That these are just a different type of modeling that goes into from the amps up here, the amp locker amps, like the everything you see here, amp locker amps. And then it goes to reamp 2. And I think, again, don't quote me, you have to ask the company yourself. In their user group, they're guaranteed to be somebody that could help you immediately, because there are a lot of passionate users over there. And someone will be able to help you. I think, though, that this involves a different style of modeling. Is it bad? No, not at all. There's some really good sounding amps in here. And because it's a different and, from what I understand, a more simplistic style of modeling, this is, these are maybe a bit easier to turn out for them back in the day. So there's a ton of them. These are basically kind of maybe, if I could just explain them, maybe more like, almost like a snapshot of an amp that you have some pretty decent control of. Maybe that could be explained like that, maybe not. Maybe I'm incorrect. So if someone knows a little bit more about that in the comments, please do step in if you'd like. Let's test one of them now. So this thing sounds just awesome. It looks cool, and we're gonna set it up. Fuck, that sounds awesome already. That sounds awesome. You would never know. Oh my gosh. This is supposed to be, I suppose, the Invective. And it looks great. The UI is another thing that if you were a fan of the Audio Assault stuff way back in the day, the UIs did not look like this. The UIs very much reflected the lower cost of the plugins at all times. You could just tell. I'm not saying they looked shitty. You could just tell that they were as good as they were going to get, and it reflected the price, and you were more focused on the sound. Now, again, fast forward to current, all of these amps look awesome, and they meet the industry and market standards of being, looking great and having that vector style UI that you can resize at random. That's awesome. Vector style UIs are the way to go these days. It's nice to have them be able to be as big as possible. I think there are a lot of old plugins that developers could simply make the UI into if possible, make it into a vector, and you would instantly bring a lot more life to some older plugins if they even had the option to resize. Whereas a lot of old style plugins are stuck in a very small package, i.e. something like this right here, where you cannot resize this. This is an old Ignite Amps plugin, and you can't resize it. Yeah, sure, it's there. The settings are great, but for people, now that it exists, the ability to drag and resize things exists. People want it, put on all the old plugins, and I got to be honest, it would help sell some older plugins. All right, let's look in the comments here. A Randall reamp. Okay, let's go out. Randall. I don't. Is it the... No, that's a crank. I don't see it. Nope, there's reamp 2 bass, reamp plus. No, nothing. I don't see another Randall, although I could have gone right by it. And there's also a Purple Nightmare that's been heavily condensed, obviously. Does it sound great though? Fuck yeah, it does. Like, listen to this thing, and you're getting this. This is not a lot of money. I like what they've done here though. This is just the same kind of power amp setup as the last one. But what they've done here is for these reamps is that even though it's condensed, they've still renamed the settings. They don't just like take the settings and just name all of the master presence depth. They go to that particular amp and they say, okay, well, they call it rumble and sharp. We're going to use that, and we're going to put it on the left and instead of the right. And that's neat. I like that little tiny attention to that attention to small details. It really makes me happy. It really does. So let's keep shredding on this, or riffing on this for a bit. There's no shredding on this channel. It sounds awesome. Amp Blocker has a standalone though. All right. Man, thank you for everybody for joining me today. I appreciate each and every one of you, as always. I really do. It's so much fun to do these streams when I'm really in the mood, and today I just woke up in the mood. I'm also in the mood to do, and I actually have a bunch of work to do this weekend as well, but as I am doing some artist relations stuff over the holidays, just to kind of needlessly jam-pack my schedule. Some stuff I don't normally do that I'm jumping in to help out with over the holidays for an upcoming couple of first quarter releases. In January and February, I'm helping out a few different releases, and so you'll be getting some contests as part of me doing some work I also like to negotiate it that we can do some contests with said developers. So starting on December 20th, we will be doing a contest, a bunch of small contests, single plugins from developers that just want to have some fun and throw things out and have a good time. So will Audio Assault be one of those developers? Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to see. I haven't even approached them about it. Maybe they will. So if you're out there, you're a developer and you happen to be watching, you want to jump in and just offer just a single plugin is all we're asking for from any developer that wants to jump in on it. One single plugin. I'll be giving away single plugins from as many developers want to jump in as possible, and we'll be doing as much streaming as possible, and we're going to be doing all the pre-recorded content that'll be dropping in January. That'll be fun. If there's something you guys want to see, we're going to be doing some tone chases, which will be nice. Tone talks, where we discuss the tone talk will be about a particular artist and how to nail and which plugins to use, how to nail that sound in the plugin world. And a little bit later tonight, I'm going to be doing a fuzz pedal jamboree. Last time we got together, we tested a bunch of boost pedal plugins, and this one will be fuzz pedal plugins. And I think there's another one I kind of wanted to go buy the Demon Fuzz over from JST. It's a developer we don't talk a lot about here on the channel because they just how do I say this? Some of their stuff I really enjoy, and some of their stuff I enjoy a little bit less. However, their creative tools, they have a lot of really fun creative shortcut tools that when you're mixing at home, that can create some really great results. If you're that type of person like myself, I am not by any means an expert at home, expert engineer. That is not who I am at all. But I do like to record stuff, and I do like those shortcutty type plugins if they do a lot of work. If they do a lot of things that I know that I just don't feel like doing. Maybe sometimes little fatteners and little things to add cut and little things. So head over to JST, Joey Sturgis Tones. If you're curious, they have some stuff on right now for like $9 a piece. These little tools can go a long way. Another developer that has just tools exactly like that, however, is Audio Assault, and we're testing out one of their plugins today. Thank you. This is Amp Locker. This is their flagship these days, and when I say flagship, I mean this is the plugin that they are most rolling out and doing things with right now. Everything they seems to get put right into the plugin, which is really cool. They have reamps, so it's like they have these quick amps, so to speak, and the quick amps all kind of band together in the quick amp way, which I like. And these are what I would say are the quick amps, and then you go and get the little bit more tonal control and something like this right here, which has definitely got a lot more to it. And I've not used this, and I am going to test it before using it live. There's a little bit more to it, and I want to make sure that, I just got a good handle on things. I mean, we can get a couple of strums in right now, though. It's got nice warm. It sounds great. It feels great. It sounds great. Well done once again. Well done. Can't wait to get that baritone. I'm talking to Aurora Tone. Did you guys end up going to the Aurora Tone pickups website? Please do, because I would like you guys to help me choose some pickups that you would like to see demoed on the channel. And head over to Aurora Tone, like them on social media, but more so, I think there are complete examples of some of their awesome finishes. And again, the price point, fucking rad. I'm not working with the company or anything like that. I'm just very surprised and shocked to have found a boutique Canadian pickup winder making things for good prices, great prices. And I'm really excited about that. It's exciting. It's exciting. So I'm anxious and interested to try some of the stuff that this guy is doing. So you guys head over to Aurora Tone, like Aurora DSP, but Aurora Tone pickups and let me know what you guys think. What models would you like? I'm thinking the Chimera is going to go into one of my guitars, but beyond that, I have not chosen a thing. I have to outfit that new baritone that's coming in 30 inches. She's a big, it's a big full-figured guitar, we'll call it. Charlie, how are you? It sounds great. It's fun. I like it. Now, yeah, then there's flagships like Hellbeast. Hellbeast got way better. Way better. I remember when Hellbeast was... It was okay. I will say that. It was okay. I remember when this it was okay. Now, well, it's gotten a lot better. Out of tune again. What else is new? What else is new? I hope you guys are enjoying your holiday season. If the holidays aren't something that you do or celebrate, no problem. Not a big deal. We're going to be doing some stuff on Christmas. As myself, I have my plans are a little bit more angled at Boxing Day. So I'm going to be doing some stuff on definitely going to be here Christmas Day and Christmas Eve potentially, and we're going to be doing something probably New Year's as well. Fun. I'll be here a lot during the holiday season. You'll be seeing probably more of me than you care to. I'm being completely honest. All right, let's get this going. Sounds good. It sounds better than it used to for sure. And it looks awesome. This originally started out, if I'm not mistaken, being like the Randall Satan. And that amp these days that's a collector's item these days. Man. And so if you're not 100% know, the Randall Satan was a stripped down and kind of a stripped down version of the Fortunatus. He, it made it basically strip some features off, strip things down, and then I believe Randall Import built it, and it was okay. And yeah, and then it was what it was. It became a highly successful amp for Ola Englund, and it sold like hot seller. And it was a very, very highly sought after amp, and then the amp was discontinued. And so yeah, and this amp sim I believe started out that way. But if I'm not mistaken, Fortin or Randall or Fortin has some sort of, I think there's a patent on the grind and girth setting where you use the 6 for the G. I think that's maybe a trademarked or a copywritten thing. I'm not sure. But either way, we know what's what. It's okay. Either way, the Hellbeast is pretty ripping. There's just so much in here. We could go through, it would take me 5 hours, 6 hours of a stream to go through all of this, if not longer, for sure. Longer, 100%. And there's this Mezzabarba. That's another amp company that needs to get on the plug-in wagon. They did an April Fool's joke where they had somebody make them a UI and they put it out there and people lost their shit, and then they realized it was like on April Fool's, and man, it got me pretty good because I saw it well after the fact, and I didn't realize that when I saw it, it was April Fool's. sounds good. Wait a second. God, I've been playing it wrong this whole time. What else is new? Anyways, the Mezza Barba sounds good. Yes, of course it does. Of course it sounds good because it's the Mezza Barba. And that's an amp. Oh, they're Italian based, if I'm not mistaken, and we all know that what else is in Italy, that is many talented, very talented software developers. It makes sense that this would happen. A licensed Mezza Barba is probably going to be in our future somewhere. When? Who knows? But gosh, it would be nice to see it happen. I really like the attention to detail that Audio Assault and their graphic design team or person has put towards every last amp. You can tell somebody went and they looked at the real thing and they made you a condensed version of the real thing that is actually really fun to look at. I like that. Thank you for whoever did that. They didn't just like slap the basic knobs on. Originally, that is actually what happened. That's how it started out, where in the original reamp, it was just the faceplate and the knobs was all that matched up, but that was still like, wow, that's kind of thoughtful. Thank you. And this, they go even the further, that extra mile. And this is just one small component of many, and they've made it look fantastic, which is something that companies doing the larger scale plugins don't always do. So sometimes they'll condense it and give you the small thumbnail versions like Line 6. And sometimes they'll give you the full-on versions. Sometimes if it's positive grid, they'll just give you empty shells that sound like garbage and the UI looks like trash anyway. That company's just you don't need to buy anything from them. It's just gonna be straight. I'll just continue to be straight as I can about positive grid. It's the only company we're gonna drag through the mud here. And I will do it anytime I can. Yep, nothing wrong with this. Hey, how's it going, Charlie? OG, Hazard Group, OG, mountain climbing extraordinaire, Charlie Crease. Ladies and gentlemen, the esteemed. Thank you for joining us, sir. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be here, but we'll see. Should be fun. Reamp 2, the nitro. Whoa! Whoa! I just about took my head off. Oh, that is orange. Yeah, that's out of tune. Dude! Yeah, so I think we've established that there's a lot under the hood here now. This is well past the beta stage. They have refined, they have found things that work. They've figured it all out, and they've delivered something here that is a lot of fun to use. And they continue to add things that are a lot of fun to use. I really like what's going on under the hood in Amp Locker. There's a lot of different flavors that they give you, and there's no way that you're not going to find exactly what you want to. There's no way you're not going to find great tones inside the box here. I want to check out some Doom tones as well. Hell yeah. Yes. Who's not, wait, hold on. Get better soon. That's okay, buddy. A lot of people fall asleep listening to me talk. Ask the wife. You get enough THC in this guy, and that just makes her sleepy. I mean, it doesn't strike anybody to understand that I talk a lot. That's just what I do here. We talk a lot, and there was a guy that left a comment on one of our videos. He was just like, took too long to get started. I'm like, yeah, all right. Sometimes we do that here. Sometimes we talk a lot to get started in the live streams. However, the new content that's coming in January will not be the same long-winded stuff. It's going to be 10-20 minutes. There will be nothing about me personally or the weather outside or anything else that's going on around here. It's not going to be a live stream format. It will just be me being like, hi, my name is Tyler, and welcome to the MCM Universe. Today, we're here to talk about boom, and it's just going to be a solid promotional video for the product that runs 10-20 minutes that just goes through the product, how to get a good tone, and that's it. I may also, for some of them, I may also do a mix with the plugin in question. And I'll play the mix at the start. I will not be miming anything. I'm not going to demean myself to that level. I'm sorry, some of y'all out there liked making videos with you miming. I can't do it. It makes me feel like I just don't feel right. Even when I was in a band and we had to shoot music videos, I've always hated miming. I cannot do it. And also, if it becomes to, if I'm playing it live, if I'm playing with the song, then I'm going to fuck it up so many times that it's just pointless to do it that way. So I'm just going to make the mix, listen to it with you guys. It's going to be, I think they're about a minute and a half long. Then we're going to go through the plugin. That'll be all she wrote, folks. Just getting it started. That way we can start getting some shares, start getting some people, some more folks in here to enjoy what it is that we do here at the MCM Universe. Yeah, you'll survive, dude. Anyways, tell me in the comments. I want to know which piece of gear, which amp that you guys really need to hear to see a plugin, or even an amp. Even if it was just an amp lock reamp version. I'm not saying even, because we've established that these sound pretty fucking good. I mean, not a lot of fuzz in here, though. Audio Assault. More fuzz! I know you guys got it in you. I know you guys want to put more fuzz in here. Put more fuzz in. I know you guys can do it, and I know it'll rip, and it'll be a great price. It'll be a lot of fun, I'm sure. But I want to know what you guys want to hear in the new year. Whether it's a reamp version, or it's a full plugin devoted, licensed or not. Which amps or preamps or pedals do you guys want to see in the new year? I need to know about this. I want to know. I want to hear about it. Tell me about these things. Yeah, man, you'll survive. It's really awkward listening to rockabilly that uses drum samples because all I can hear, I can't unhear the drum sample. Yeah, these are definitely done with it's like definitely done with an E-kit, which is not a bad way to record. Using an E-kit with natural cymbals and just doing a couple of overheads and then recording the record. I've seen that done to some really, that's how Behemoth did their first whole bunch of albums. It was done with an E-kit, natural cymbals, just a couple of overheads, nothing else was mic'd. And then they just did that. That's how they did their first bunch of albums. And there was a bunch of bands that have done that over the years, and it's turned out great. And that's a really easy way to do a record at home these days. There's so many great sounding E-kits too. And I'm not just great sounding. Okay, well, there's a lot of great feeling, and then there's a lot of great samples out there. The brains are irrelevant these days. All you need is a laptop and, drum set, your own, choose your own drum software that can do MIDI and all that. And man, you're just laughing. Man, drummers are even just spoiled these days. I just wish there was a way I could play drums silently. I yearn, guys. I long to play drums again someday. When we get a house, that is one of the main things I would love to be able to do, is play drums every day when I come home from work, like I used to. It's a fantastic feeling. Get that out, get that little workout in. That's a workout I don't mind doing. Yeah. That company has been, as far as I know, Lichtlerm? I can't pronounce. Lichtlerm? I can't pronounce that. I'm not going to try. I tried twice. I butchered it, but nonetheless, that company, as I know for a fact, that company has been in touch, at very least in touch, with plugin developers. I know this. I spoke to someone at that company just out of curiosity, and they, as far as I knew, they were meeting somebody at Guitar Summit that year, and I'm not really sure what came of that. I have not spoken to anybody at the company since, although I would have to imagine that is a name of that name in that company, and somebody has kind of got to be probably on top of that. I'm gonna have to assume that somebody's on top of that and doing it, or has at least started the process. But nonetheless, it doesn't hurt to reach out to that company yourself and ask them. Just be like, hey, you guys should do some plugins. And it never hurts to email your favorite analog companies if you actually know that it's going to go to just like an actual person and not just straight into like an empty hole for no one to ever see it. Like, don't go and eat, well, whoever it is, if it's a company that doesn't have a plug yet, message them. Don't message EVH, because as far as I understand, they're not really totally stoked about the idea. I can't speak for that company. I just know that a few companies have tried and been turned down. But smaller companies, if there's a company out there, Eris Effects, ESH Amps, whoever it is, reach out to that company and say, hey, you guys should do plugins. Give them some reasons why they should do plugins. Do it, you know what I mean? And then something might end up coming together. That way, when a software developer reaches out to that company next, they might actually say, hey, you know what? Some people have been fucking bugging us about this shit. Why don't we just do it? Let's just get it done, and we'll just do this modeling thing and let some company do it, and we'll make some money just for handing over a vector of our logo and an amp and maybe an occasional piece of assistance in understanding the schematic. That's all they have to do, and that's all they have to do. They don't have to do anything. They just give you the vector, or at least you use the logo, let you use the likeness, maybe help you out with that, maybe at most send you an amp that'll eventually probably get sent back. Some will actually just give the developer the amp. So, man, there's really not, but in most cases, there's no cost. Yes, the amp is a cost, but most cases, the amp doesn't even need to change hands necessarily. It could be all done with schematics even. So, but it does generally help when the developer has their hands on the physical piece of gear. So, with that in mind, guys, I am going to be getting out of here. Oh my gosh. Seuss just got here. And we're leaving. I only got 10 minutes for the stream. My friend, you came in the right time, because I'm about to head out and do some stuff around the house here for a bit. I'm going to play the game Rage 2 for a while. I really like it. It's really strange to me. We'll talk about video game on the way out here for a second. It's strange to me that I haven't really heard the direct comparisons between Cyberpunk and Rage 2, because wow, does Rage 2 ever remind me of Cyberpunk outside of the city? Cyberpunk. It really, I was just like, there are several moments in that game where you're just like, holy shit, this is so much like Cyberpunk. And I've never really heard that, like, oh, this ripped off Rage 2 or anything. Like, I've never heard that, which is interesting. Another interesting thing, going with all Ciri for the new Witcher. They haven't mentioned whether Geralt or not is going to be an available character. Someone mentioned that it might be Ciri as the main character, and then like it was in the last one where you occasionally had glimpses as Ciri, you will have glimpses as Geralt. My question is, it's going to sound strange, and I don't want it to come off strange, but these games in the past have had kind of a theme. And I'm just going to say that particular theme is not a theme I'm comfortable seeing the Siri character in. I'm just going to say that. I mean, I'm really not comfortable with them putting Siri into scenarios like that. I think that would be really trashy. Or are they getting rid of that underlying adult aspect of the game, so to speak, and making it maybe more of an open, maybe opening it up to a wider audience that didn't necessarily want that angle, which not everybody is super cool with, by the way. But that was kind of a big part of the books, kind of a big part of like this series, kind of a big part of everything. Very interesting that they decided to go all Siri for it. I'm up, but if there's one game that can pull it off, it's definitely this one, because there's a lot of interest in that character. She's super powerful, and it'll be a lot of fun playing the game. You're going to kick the shit out of a lot of stuff. It's going to be great. It's going to be super fun. Man, thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you guys being here. I am going to be back today at some point with a stream using some fuzz pedals. I do believe a little bit later on for any of you that are going to be available, maybe around 8 or 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. I suggest that you drop by. We're going to make some awful sounds. It is going to be some really, it's like, low tuned fuzziness. I'm going to pull out the old Studio Lord and hope that it stays with me and stays in tune for the entire stream. I don't know if it's actually going to happen, because I'm pretty sure one of the tuners is busted. I'm going to check that out now, but it's going to be a fun stream later on. I'm going to use a bunch of fuzz pedals. Tomorrow, I will get to, either tomorrow or Monday, we'll say, I'm going to get to Luca's new nunchuck plugin with polychrome DP. I'm anxious to see that as well. Thank you so much to you guys for being here. Thank you to Audio Assault for hooking me up with a bunch of rad plugins to try. A lot of love for what they're doing at this point. It's awesome that they definitely pulled together something very different and new than what it was 5 or even 10 years ago at that company. And I'm quite interested to see where they go from here, because Amp Locker, now that Amp Locker, it seems all the bugs are out. It seems like Amp Locker is moving smoothly. It's easy to use. It sounds great. You get a lot of variations. And as far as I know, there's not a lot of empty shell syndrome in here. What they give you does bear a resemblance to the gear it's modeling. And that's important to note, because there are some plugins, Bias Effects 2, anything made by Positive Grid, for example, or maybe Guitar Rig. Those really don't give you the best digital representation of the gear that some other plugins are going to give you. Most notably, Amp Locker. Amp Locker is cheap, $5 a month, I think, for the subscription. Try it 3 months. I promised you guys. You won't go wrong with it. This is not a paid stream, by the way. They've not paid for this, apart from just hooking me up with some freebies to check out, promote, and show and share with you guys. So, and as we note in the bottom in the description of every video, an NFR, a not for resale plugin given by a developer, does not in any way and should not ever guarantee a paid promotion. That doesn't exist. There's no cash here. It's just a product in exchange for, and in our case, we don't even guarantee that we're going to do a demo. We try it. If we like it, we do demos. And I don't think that's the wrong way to go. All right. Yeah, Bias Effects. Yep. Yeah, man. The Cyberpunk was, but let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest. They redeemed themselves. They redeemed themselves completely with Cyberpunk. I left it alone. I saw with the disaster that happened, and then somebody I really trusted came to me and said, "Man, they really fixed it. It's really fun." And I tried it. I was hooked inside 14 seconds, just like I'm kind of hooked on this Rage 2 game right now for $14, guys. $14. Also, the RoboCop game just went on for like $30 Canadian money here, guys, which is like 5 cents American at this point. Anyways, the RoboCop game. Has anybody played that game? Let's talk about the next stream because I think I'm going to go grab that one at some point as well. Cheers, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks to Audio Salt for hooking us up. And hopefully by the next stream, we might even have some sponsor news by the next stream. We'll see. Cheers, everybody, and I'll see you guys next time.